Happy Friday, my friends. Wow. What a week. I hope you guys have been enjoying this week as much as I have. I love the thinning of the veil. It just brings out so many wonderful stories. I love working with my clients and students with their abilities and connecting in. And this week, the stories have been fantastic. I love it. We've had such a wonderful week of that veil thinning. Sunday, we're going to hit that crescendo. Now, please do not worry if you're still struggling. The more we intentionally put demands and expectations on ourselves, well, the less we're going to get out of it. It's a hard, fast truth, right? So, taking that time for you, yes, but maybe trying in a different way. That creativity, that activity that you enjoy doing, and you're not going to necessarily be intentionally trying to work on our channeling or work on our abilities. You're just doing something that you enjoy doing. You're getting out of your head. You're getting out of those high expectations you have of yourself. And you're just enjoying your experience. That's when you'll get the most out of the thinning of the veil. I've had a number of meditations. I've got a lot of positive feedback on them, on supporting you with that connection. Another way where you're not putting those intentions or expectations on yourself because you're meditating. It's a form of meditation. It's going to support you with your abilities. So let's get into this reading. This week, for this reading, we're looking at October 31st, so Halloween, till November 6th. Now, we're still going to have the thinning of the veil. It hits that high point on the midnight of the 31st, and it will cascade into November. The majority of people, they shut off that connection at the beginning of November. It's like, okay, Halloween's done. Next, Thanksgiving. Right? So you still have some time. Just enjoy it, but you'll get the most out of it. So for this week, I have chosen the Tarot of the Haunted House. I love, and for some reason, all those cards are upside down for you guys. Haha. And the glare's back. Okay, there we go. I love this deck. It is beautiful. It is sassy. I enjoy it. And then I'm pairing it with the Enchanted Map Oracle. From my direction in November, we're looking at moving forward, and that mapping out is going to be really necessary. So the two of them are going hand in hand. When I did my Patreon readings earlier today, I really found out how well they work together. Even though you wouldn't think the Tarot of the Haunted House with Enchanted Map, it does. They speak well together. So I'm excited. And very chilled. Of course, as Halloween is Sunday, we're forecasting snow over Canada. The one of the areas that where we live, we always have to think, okay, Halloween costumes for kids, you got to make sure that snowsuit fits underneath. All right, let's get into this. What can my friends expect from October 31st to November 6th? So crazy. Whoa. That we're headed into November already. Said way back in August, September and October, November, roll into December. Kidding. One that really, really wanted out. So, I apologize for the glare. Yeah. There, many decks like to have the very shiny outside, the laminate, but it's so bad when you're doing it on camera. The Golden Palace talks about how we all have this end result, that utopia, where it is we really want to be, what we really want to do. But they're not all the same, right? Some people really need to do X and others need to do Y. Well, some of us like Q. There's not just a one golden palace for everybody. We all have different utopias, different joys and aspirations. So it's not just like, oh, well, if I don't do it first, someone else will get it. No, reminds us that no matter where it is we want to go or where we end up, we will have that golden palace, that abundance, that joy, to trust in ourselves and our abilities to get us where we need to be. Because this palace, this joy and happiness, it's very different, and you can find it multiple times along our way. Stormfield. So we can choose here whether we come around into the storm or we keep going around and head out towards him, because they are going to be side by side. The choice is ours. Where we put our intention, where we put our energy won't matter. I can tell you, I've had many clients and students contacting me saying, "Oh my God, what the heck's happening? It's the energies are hard. I'm not feeling well." So I'm doing energetical clearings and healings a lot, especially over the last couple of weeks, because we're looking at really demanding global energies. I don't want to say chaotic because they're not chaotic. We've had chaotic energies come forward. This is more literally, it feels like if you look at a weather map, you have like the highs and the lows, and they're swirling, and then you do get the tornadoes because they start to combine. They're heavy energies, big energies. So making sure that we're very conscious of that. We would need to be on our toes to look up and forward. Where is it that we're going? We need to make sure that we're conscious of self and how we're feeling, checking into self, checking into where it is we're going, because our heads are up and we're an active participant in where we're going, we're going to miss out, because this week we have our tornado in play. We can avoid it, or we can head straight for it. Making a choice. Golden Palace, tornado. Really reinforcing what I just said. And I like it when the cards do that. Sometimes we need it like boom in your face. Here, very clear. Now, I want to make you guys aware that it's not like there's a right and wrong choice. If you choose to hit the tornado, that's a learning opportunity. What are you going to learn? What is creating that tornado? We're going to look at breaking patterns. If you choose to go towards the Golden Palace, you're looking at really that high vibrational, joyous energy, that creative energy. We're at that crossroads. The choice is yours. Easiest way to make that choice: intentionally watching where your energies are going and where they're like what type of energy you're putting out there. The veil is thin, so karma, it's kind of easy to push it out and it's going to come back in real fast. Think of it as a boomerang. So be careful of what energies we're putting out there, because it matters. And also, where are we spending our time? What are you doing? It's kind of multifaceted. We have to do the expectations and demands that meet our physical requirements, so we have that stability of food, shelter, clothing. But there's also that, well, what else are you doing? Most of us work, what, what is it, 40 hours a week, give or take. And what are you doing with the rest of that time? How are you spending? How are you nurturing you and those around you? So it's about balancing things out. We don't want to hyper focus in on anything, whether that be your spiritual journey, whether that be meeting your physical demands. We get overwhelmed and burnt out when we do that. So balancing things out. All right, let's get into this week. What can my friends expect from the beginning of the week? The Chariot, seventh card in the Major Arcana, that movement forward, using your willpower and your drive to push you forward. We already know that we've got choice. Where are you going to go? That willpower, that determination. And yes, lack of choice is a choice. So avoiding this choice, well, I can guarantee you, you're going to head towards the tornado. With lack of choice or lack of engagement in ourselves and our everyday, that is a resistance or an ambivalence to what you're doing. That's going to cause those patterns that we keep seeing come forward to come back at you. Without direct intention, without direct foreplanning, you're going to revisit the same problems that you're seeing. We have to break patterns. It's not as easy as we think it is, because if it was as easy as it was, we would be like, okay, that's broken, done. See you later. So being intentional, being mindful, and really planning things out. The charioteer is very planned and very articulate. He usually, so in this card, I like the fact it's a chauffeur. I think it's funny. But the original deck that Pamela Coleman Smith drew, she has this kind of knight style gladiator with one wand in his hand. He's just given her. His chariot or his steeds are a black and then a white sphinx. There are no reins. He is doing it intentionally and very methodical. He's pushing himself forward. And the weirdest concrete chariot you'd ever see, but he's pushing himself forward. Doesn't matter the challenges. Baby steps forward, intention and energy, very focused. So beautiful. And I'm so thankful it came in. This is the Page of Pentacles. Pages are that childlike, innocent energy, reminding us there's a balance, guys. We do want that very direct, very methodical. I'm going to do this, and this is how I'm going to do it. Here's A, here's my B, here's my C. That's one part of it. We get hyper-focused, like I just said. If we hyper-focus in on things, we're going to miss out. Our head goes down, and we're not looking up. That is when that tornado is going to sideswipe you. Balance it out. Making sure that we're having some fun, and we're enjoying this time. Beginning of the week, we're looking at Halloween. Have some fun, whether you have kids or not. Enjoy it. Whether you go out and enjoy the scenery, the experience, because Halloween has some amazing energies. Let's be honest. Even if you go out early and you see all those little minis all dressed up with their pumpkins, that energy is fantastic. It's rejuvenating. You go stomp in some leaves. If you're not like me, where it's probably going to snow, or you can go stomp in snow. It really is. Have that fun. Balance it out. Yes, we want that plan forward. Absolutely. But we don't want to miss out because the excitement and the joy is there. Going on still with the Halloween. Fantastic, fantastic time to get into our creativity. Like I said in the introduction, when we intentionally sit down and go, okay, it's Halloween, I'm going to channel Grandpa. We have a tendency to put those high expectations on ourselves. We're going to channel a certain person at a certain time. And I've said this before. The only beings that can come to us on a fly are archangels. The rest of them are not omnipresent. So if you're going to channel Grandpa, you may be sitting there for a while because Grandpa A may not be ready to be channeled. Because yes, there's a timeline for that. And B, he may be busy. So he may be like, oh, I'll get to you. So sometimes that intention, as much as it's important, can really bog us down. So have some fun with it. I've got lots of meditations on working with your channeling abilities. So they're mostly half an hour long. Take half an hour. See what happens. In all those meditation, I say, look, channel who, like, ask who it is you want. So if you want grandpa, say, great grandpa, come on down. But have a backup. If they're not available, can my guardian angel or one of my guides come join me? Backup. Guardian angels, guides, they too are not omnipresent. They rarely leave you, especially a guardian angel. And they would be more than happy to sit down and go, oh, they're working on their skills. Let's sit down and chat with them. Woo! You would see a very different experience. Because when something doesn't go your way, what does your ego go? Told you. And then you're like, I can't do this. I suck. She was wrong. I do not have this ability. You do. It's just your ego is getting into interfering and minimizing what you can do. Have some fun with it. Enjoy it. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I do have lots of meditations. I've got 3 meditative playlists and a mindfulness playlist. These are all guided. They're tools to support you. They're most importantly free. Any advertisements, that's all YouTube. It's not me. I'm not monetized. These tools are for you to use to your advantage. So have fun with them. But enjoy the beginning of the week. That's the big part. Yes, we want that intention, but we also need that excitement and that enthusiasm. Let's go into the middle of the week. What can my friends expect from the middle of the week? Now, I should mention in the middle of the week on Wednesday, I will be live again to look at another channeling modality. I'm going to be working with pendulums. So pendulums are something that you want more information on. I will be live at 9 o'clock on my channel here just to explore it. If you have a pendulum, great. If you don't know much about pendulum and you want to know more, well, there you go. Like I said in the introduction, we're going to have that thinnest part of the veil at midnight on Halloween. Well, it then starts to build. We still have weeks with that thinning veil, but most of us just put that intention, oh, it's done. I'm moving on. Thanksgiving, here I come. And that's normal, but we still have that ability. Oh, fantastic. I love the 6 of Wands. It's such a great rendition. That 6, we're looking at balance. So really reaffirming that need for balance, but we need that passion to ignite us. If we feel disconnected and lethargic, nothing's going to happen. But the minute we start to add in those life-giving aspects, so things that we enjoy doing, that creative endeavor. Now, creativity does not mean arts and crafts or painting. Creativity is how you individually express yourself. I have clients who are computer programmed, so they clickety clack, and that's their expression of creativity. It's okay. When you get out of your head, you get out of your problem. So that twister that's in the distance, you start to get added support, especially this week, as we're able to tap into that insight and wisdom a lot easier as the veil is still thin. So giving yourself that time, like I said, even before I pulled the cards, that creative aspect will go a long way. The Knight of Pentacles. Such a unique rendition of the knight. The knights are usually on some sort of steed. The original deck, Pamela Coleman Smith, had them on varying colors of horses. I've seen them on all sorts of different mounts. The thing with the knights, they are the adolescent go big or go home energy, the big brother to the page. We have different varying stages of motion where the swords are headlong into the storm. They don't care what's going on, they're going. The pentacles, steadfast on the inside, working on self. The original card, Pamela Coleman Smith, has this knight in his shiny armor sitting on his horse, holding out his pentacle, and you can see a field, and it's all plowed and it's all nicely tended to. He's the one knight that's not afraid to work on the home front. And that's exactly what we need to do this week. Like I said, we are looking at November as being more of a mapping out moving forward month. Well, that's exactly what the middle of the week is going to bring you. Tuesday, I'm going to be publishing a meditation with Archangel Haniel regarding lost aspects and information, helping you to really connect into some of those pieces that we need right here and right now. So having that time for self, giving yourself a little bit of time here and there. We don't want to overwhelm ourselves so that we can move forward. That slow, steady pace will help us. It'll be stable rather than those leaps of faith. We know leaps of faith or that big shift and change doesn't stay. It's not sustainable. It's like New Year's resolutions. They never stay because it's too much. It's unstable. Our ego can claw us back. So if they're stable, small steps, your ego is not as tweaked by them and it doesn't go into DEFCON 5 because it doesn't see it as a problem. It's a small shift. Small shift that you can sustain and maintain, and then you can shift again and then again. And before you know it, especially when you reflect in and check into self, you've gone a long way and you're like, wow, that change that I've been trying to do forever, well, I've made it plus more. It may have taken me a bit longer. However, that journey, well worth it. All right, let's go on to the end of the week. What does the end of the week bring, my friend? Okay, thank you for not putting that under the table, my friends. I ask that they keep it on the table, and I'm really, really pleasantly surprised when it does stay. Because sometimes it doesn't. Fantastic. Midas touch himself, the King of Pentacles. The more we are fulfilled and engaged in this week, the more we're going to get out of it. Because the more we're working on those baby steps, we're going to be headed to that golden palace, that abundance, that joy. We're not focusing in on the challenge or the problem. We're focusing in on something that's going to bring us, well, happiness, joy. We're getting out of our head. We're getting out of our way. And we're taking steps in the right direction towards what it is we want, rather than taking steps in a direction into learning opportunities that, sure, will eventually get us to where we want to go. But you're going to have some hard knocks there. So taking that time and really connecting in. Another aspect here, guys, because like I did say when we pulled the storm field, there are highs and lows in energy that are starting to collide, starting to have some pretty big impact on us. We have the King. He's got the most control, the most power in his suit of Pentacles. That grounded, stable energy. It's going to go a long way in helping you not only get the most out of this week and the weeks to come, but it will help you minimize some of that energetical push and pull we're feeling. So taking the time, I've got lots of different meditations. I even have I think it's about 8 minutes or so meditation in my short and sweet meditative playlist for grounding, so that you can easily on the fly go, I need to ground myself because I feel out of control. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling depleted. 8 minutes. Boom. Done. Things like fantastic. Any brown, black, red crystal. Tiger eye will help. I like tiger iron better. It's kind of a dark browny red color that's veined. This one's a polished one. Most of my tiger irons are polished because I have me or my kids carrying them, and I don't want the unpolished. It can be rougher. This is an unpolished amethyst. It's fantastic, but it's a little bit more jaggy and can be a bit pokey in the pocket or on your hand. So I have a lot of polished crystals because I do a lot of healing with them. So taking that time. And there's other ways that you can do this. Some people wear jewelry with crystals in it, but what you can do is simple things like adding some cinnamon to your tea or coffee. And I know some teas it's not a good taste, but you can add that earthy taste to beverages and to food. Having some of those really stronger flavors in, like, I'm thinking of curries. Some curries have lots of cinnamon. Some stews put in lots of like tarragon or basil. Some of those kind of earthy tastes. You can use essential oils. Lots of people are using those diffusers. Again, that earthy scent. And if all else fails, put a little pot of ground cinnamon out in wherever, or get some cinnamon sticks. You can make a little flower arrangement on your desk. No one would question. It's the fall. Of course, you'd have cinnamon. Using your creativity to help you really get what you need out of right now. I know I've been enjoying added flavors into my tea, infusing it with things like cinnamon, infusing it with things like pumpkin. You can do it. It's tasty. It's tasty and different. All right, let's look at the challenge. We know that there are going to be challenges because we have that storm field and we have that choice. Let's look at those challenges. Woo! What challenge will my friends face for the beginning of the week? I love it when it flips it for me. I don't even have to like reveal it. Like, there it is. And it's one that does not surprise me at all. Because it's kind of our Achilles heel. It's a Three of Swords. And literally, it can sometimes feel like people are impaling you with stakes. That heartache, that pain, we're carrying it from experiences in this lifetime and others. It's up to us to be very intentional with our energies and with our choices. We're going to find that the Three of Swords, the Five of Swords, the Eight, well, most swords, actually, the 8, the 9, the 10, it's going to be pretty predominant over the next couple of weeks, well, into the winter time, because that heartache and pain is going to be very prevalent. Those lows, those significant lows are going to be there. What do you need to do for you to bring you out of that low, get you out of that funk and into something that's going to be more life-giving, more passion-centered, more fulfilling? Because when we are focused in and stuck in that heartache, nothing's fulfilling. We feel lost. We feel disconnected. We need to be very mindful of where our emotional health is, because it's been quite the last couple of years, and it's compounding and adding to those external energies and those external problems. Because this is not just an individual piece, this is a global piece. People are very reactive and overactive. So you're going to find people that just explode for no reason, and the trigger doesn't make sense, and the response is just exaggerated. So knowing that, so how are you going to go for it? What do you need to create that stability and maintain that high vibration? So we're choosing something that's going to support us rather than something that's going to challenge us. the Two of Wands. Now, if you've seen any of my videos, Ouija board and I do not get along. I don't believe in them. They work-ish. You're just tapping into low vibration. I don't work low vibration, so I don't work with the Ouija board. That's why I'm bringing out Channeling 101 with the pendulum, because the pendulum is not low vibration. Have they been able to channel past on loved ones? Yes. With a Ouija board? Possibly at times. However, past on loved ones are not always high vibrational. And what they need to share with you is not always going to support you. It can actually really aggravate some pain and heartache. So I don't really prescribe to the Ouija board thing. So that's it. That's the card. The Two of Wands. Choices. That balance. We feel overwhelmed. We're sitting here right at that apex going, what do I do? Oh my God. And then we start to freak out. What if? What if I choose wrong? What if it happens? What if something bad happens? What if? That heartache, that fear, is pinning us to that spot. And that's when you're going to find that twister right over top of you. Boom, and will push you. And I love how they chose these specific cards in the specific order. The Golden Tower is on the same side as the light and the little butterflies, little boobly wing things headed here. Yet the storm field is pushing you towards here. So it's going to be one of those things that you have to be mindful of. That lack of choice will be your choice. That storm, that heaviness, that exhaustion, like I said before, lack of choice is a choice that's going to lead you right here, right to that low vibrational energy. So taking that time, connecting into that passion, connecting into that fun. Like I said, even if you don't have kids, just going out for a walk and enjoying a fall night early in the evening and seeing all those little munchkins dressed up, and they have no idea what they're doing, but they go to a door and they get candy. It's pretty freaking cool. Energy will fuel you. Even, like I said, going and stomping in some leaves, having some fun will help to raise your vibration out of that funkiness, that heartache and fear, and get you moving, get you going in the right direction. All right, let's go into the middle of the week. What challenge will my friends face in the middle of the week? Okay, you can have that card. Five Wands. That conflicting passions, that inner chatter, of course, is going to minimize and try and really impale you in that spot so you don't move forward. That inner chatter of, you can't do this, that you're failing, those what ifs, that fear, really aggravating that heartache. It's going to be a challenge. Like I said, those lows, they're pretty hard. At the same time, some of the highs can be pretty hard too, because even though it might be a higher vibrational energy, it's like, think of it as oil and water. So you have some water and you're like, okay, I can do this. And then you smush oil in it and you get these weird blobby bits. So you get this burst of energy. You're like, I can do this. And you're like, no, I can't. So it really feels like a roller coaster. So taking some time and checking into where you're at will help. And then also check into where that energy is coming from. Where is that thought coming from? And how is it serving you? Ace of Cups. I love this rendition of the Ace of Cups because, yes, they're cupping water. However, it also, especially in this reading, talks about an easy trick to help you with some of those energies, some of that swirling stuff, some of that conflict that we're talking about internally. Going to some water and running it under your hands. Heat off and take away that prickly hot energy, leaving you refreshed and calmer. It's a trick that I taught many of my clients who have anxiety because it starts to calm us. It rejuvenates us. And especially now, no one's going to say, "Why are you washing your hands?" They're like, "Yay, he's washing his hands." So using your tools to your advantage, because we need them now more than ever. But taking it one step at a time, because this is the holy grail of cards. We're going to miss a lot of that meaning because we're so caught up in what we're hearing and those what ifs and that fear and that heartache, really aggravating that stagnation, missing out on some amazing opportunities, some amazing ahas. It's really going to help with that prosperity and that abundance. At the end of the week, what challenge will my patrons or my friends face at the end of the week? Now we have lots of twos here. Things are coming out in clusters of two, except for the king. He's all, yeah, two here, two here, two here, two here, and two here. When you have that multiple two, the angels are reminding you, balance, balance, balance. Balancing card there. Just reaffirming what's on the table. The 9 of Wands. We have a lot of wands here. We've got the 6, we've got the 5, we've got the 9. That inner fire, that connection. We're gonna get it. The end of the week, we're gonna be so frazzled and burnt out. We're not gonna understand that we have that supportive system, that we have backup plans. We're not going to see any of it. We're not going to see all that we've been able to accomplish, all that joy, that fulfillment that we have right here, right now. I feel so burnt out, so frazzled. This card will come up. Won't be the last time we see it. The 10 of Swords. Depletion, that kind of blah feeling. Many of us are carrying so much. Those swords, they're deep. They're going to aggravate, especially at the end of the week. What the 3 didn't do, the 10 is going to try and really push down on. Those feelings of heartache, loss, and pain, feelings of fear regarding people, situations, and events that we lived through. We're going to be fast and furious, trying to minimize that abundance, trying to still throw you into a choice that may not be that high vibrational, abundant choice that you want. There's going to be a lot. It's not just one choice this week, guys. You're going to have multiple choices, multiple opportunities to make corrections. However, if we keep going to the one side, that correction isn't going to be what's going to happen. You're going to find learning opportunities rather than abundance. Some of us need a little bit more abundance and joy rather than added learning opportunities. The choice is yours. The lack of choice is a choice itself. All right, let's finish off here with any final thoughts, insight, and wisdom that we can share with my friends for the week of October 31st to November 6th. I know it's crazy, and I love the fact that I have so many Canadian friends and family, because or American friends and family, because Thanksgiving's coming back up again. You forget how overwhelmed you were a couple weeks ago with turkey? Ready to do it again. Oh, yeah. Cleaning house. Making those choices. Clearing out what isn't needed so you have space for what is. We have that Knight of Pentacles here. It's time to work on self. We only have so much space within ourselves. Think of it as a cup within ourselves, right in the middle. There's only so much it can hold. It's already full. You need to get rid of it. Dig deep, get what's not working. That's kind of sludgy at the bottom. So we have more of a fulfilled, full cup that gives back to us, that's life-giving, that brings us joy and happiness. It's part of that cleaning the house, getting those cobwebs out. Metamorphosis. That change, that slow progression forward. We have to change with time. Even as the seasons change, we change. That metamorphosis, that shift is really predominant this week. It's not something we should fear. It's something that can bring us joy and happiness and abundance. It's just up to us to set that direction, set that intention. Gentle gardener. Those abundant aspects are there. We need to be mindful and present. Similar to the gardener who is noticing the wonders and the amazing gifts that are in the everyday. The more observant we are, the more we're going to get out of it. They're hidden in plain sight, guys. They always happen and they always will. So when we're gentle, when we're compassionate and nurtured towards self and those around us, and we are intentionally observant and in the here and now, it's when you're going to see these miracles, those ahas. Those doors become so predominant. It's like, oh, it's maybe over there. That looks a lot happier than over there. Yeah, intention. Being an active participant in your everyday. Literally, that's what it feels like today. Deep freeze. Things are thawing. Things are changing. We're connecting into that authentic self, slow and steady. Just as the pond is thawing, sure, there's still aspects that we're missing. But the more we're connected in what is working, what is thawed out, the more we're going to thaw out the rest of it. This water will rejuvenate and support us as it rejuvenates and really hydrates that line. Slow and steady. The progression, it's there. We just need to take that time and allow ourselves to embrace it. We've got a lot of heartache and fear to overcome and to release. Part of that cleaning is that releasing. I do have meditations on my Just You and Me playlist and my Archangel playlist that can help you with that. That's why I have those tools. I want you to be able to help you move you forward. So no one else can do it. And we don't get it the same if someone else tries. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today. I hope that this really sheds some light on what the week is going to bring you. Stay happy, stay excited and enthusiastic, and get so much more out of this week. And like I said before, this week, Tuesday, I have my meditation with Archangel Haniel coming up. Wednesday, I have my Channeling 101 Pendulum Edition. Friday again, we're back with the live reading for the full first week of November. It's going to be fantastic. Again, I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today. Until tomorrow, my friends.